Hi everyone, welcome to AP Daily. My name is Tim Gallagher and I'm an AP Computer Science teacher at Winter Springs High School located just outside of beautiful Orlando, Florida. Today we're going to be discussing topic 3.7, which is comparing objects. And in this first of two videos, we will be comparing object references to identify aliases and null objects. So what will we learn? As I mentioned, we're going to be comparing object references using Boolean expressions, and we are going to look at how two object references are considered aliases when they reference the same object, and we're going to be using the double equal sign and not equal signs to identify those, and we're also going to be using them to compare against null values. So let's look at an example. Here I've got a class called house. It's just a basic class. Notice it has three attributes. It's got a color, square feet, number of bedrooms, and then there's a constructor, and I'm using my constructor to initialize those variables, and there could be other methods and things like that that I'm not looking at, but for right now, this is the basics that we need to know about this house class. So I want to consider these object declarations and constructions. So how many object references do I have here? Well, if you look at where it says house, my house, house, Anna's house, house, Bob's house, and house, Mom's house, those are my four object references that I've declared. So I've got four object variables, and then how many objects did I actually create? Well, we go over to the right-hand side, and here when I said my house equals new house, and it's a greenhouse, 1,850 square feet and 3 bedrooms, Anna's house is also a greenhouse with 1,850 square feet and 3 bedrooms, but these are separate objects, right? It's just like if you go into a neighborhood and you see two houses that are the same color and same size, same number of bedrooms, but they're completely different houses. One's my house, one's Anna's house. Bob's house is just a variable, hasn't been constructed yet. And then Mom's house, I set it equal to my house. So what happened there? I didn't actually create a new house. I just gave my house another name as well. Now my house can also be referred to as Mom's house. Let's look at a picture of this to represent it a little bit better. So here are the same declarations that we just discussed and constructions. My house is an object reference that contains the address of this house object that we just created and all the attributes, the color, the square feet, and the number of bedrooms. Anna's house contains the address of this object that is just created, color, square feet, number of bedrooms, identical, but it is a separate house. Bob's house, we didn't do anything with it, so it's null right now. But then Mom's house contains the same address of that my house refers to. So my house and Mom's house refer to the same singular house object. So what we have here is that my house and Anna's house refers to two separate objects with identical attributes. My house and Mom's house are aliases, just like an author writes a book under a pen name or a pseudonym, same idea. One house, two different names, and then Bob's house doesn't reference an object at all. So how do we identify those using a double equal sign or a not equal sign? So here's some code. I've put my declarations and constructions in this code here, and now I'm going to use an if statement and use a double equal sign. In this case, I say if my house double equal sign Mom's house, then it'll print out these are aliases for the same house object. And they are. We saw how my house and Mom's house refer to the same single house object. A double equal sign will identify that alias. But what about if I say if Mom's house is equal to Anna's house? They might say that, well, they look the same, they contain the same color, same square feet, same number of bedrooms, but they're not aliases. These are two different objects. So this will not evaluate to true. This will evaluate to false, and it will print out these are two different objects. Likewise, what if I say use the not equal sign, and can I say is it true that Mom's house does not equal Anna's house? Well, what is Mom's house? Mom's house is just another name for my house, and they are not the same object. They're two different objects. So this will print out that these are two different house objects. They're not aliases. Mom's house and Anna's house refer to two different house objects. Let's talk about null. So I can use the double equal sign to check for null. So in this case, Bob's house. If Bob's house is equal to null, which it is because we never constructed it, we never said equals new house, this is going to print out Bob's house has not been constructed yet. It's still null. We could even check not equal to null to see if a house has been constructed. My house has been constructed, so if I check to see does my house not equal null, well, that's true. It does not equal null. So it's going to print out my house has been constructed. And that's how we can use double equal signs and not equal signs to check for aliases and to check for nulls. So what should we take away? Well, we've been comparing object references using Boolean expressions. We know what aliases are. It's when two references considered aliases when they refer to the same exact object. We use double equal signs and not equal signs to identify those aliases. And we also use the double equal sign and not equal sign to determine if objects are null, if they actually reference an object. That's it for this lesson on AP Daily. Thank you so much for joining us. Take care and we'll see you next time.